Hey guys, it's Mish here today. I've kind of made a video on my camera, and then what happened was that it kind of just died. Like the battery just died when at the pivotal moment, the moment where I needed it, like needed to kind of keep going, and I kind of reached the best point in when I was talking. But then that's okay. That's okay. Life happens. This happens. It's fine. Thank God for technology. We have phones to record off now, so it's cool. Um, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was about the things that the, okay, in the other video I kind of gave a bit more context, but pretty much I'm starting up a youth group for kids from years 9 to year 12, and I have to start up with like some ideas and fresh like thoughts about certain things, um and so like right now I'm kind of just like bouncing off myself in a way, like bouncing off videos and seeing like what I think is the best thing that I can really offer to these kids right now. So yeah, like I'm just talking it out and just seeing what I'm doing. People are probably not gonna even see this video. I don't even know. So for kids years 9 to year 12, I know like in school, like we were given talks like back in the day. Every fortnight there'd be a speaker come in and give us a talk about this like amazing, like a talk about how they overcame, like there was an obstacle, like no, as in like they had like a really good like they were kind of plateaued, their life was kind of going really well, kind of like just average, just floating, breezing on through, and then just how like they had to overcome this obstacle, like the kind of like a massive thing just fell in their path, and they had to kind of figure out what to do and like how to bypass this massive thing. And so then they kind of like with a lot of hardship, like kind of like where they fell down once, and then after that they kind of had to get back up and like try again, and just push themselves harder and whatever. And then somehow they overcame this massive obstacle, and now that's why they're here. Like that's where they're here right now. Like they've kind of come up with that. They've just done really well. I can't explain this really well. I'm sorry. But yeah, and so then I was just thinking, like I heard a ton of those stories. I heard so many about how they did that, and then I was thinking, like as a kid, like what I really wanted to hear at the time was how someone like had a massive defeat, like in something, like they tried really hard and these things happened, and then but although these things did happen, they still failed. But then how they managed to overcome that emotionally, mentally, and like how they overcame that and kind of became a better person, pretty much like through that defeat. Like they still lost the game, but then they kind of just learned how to deal with it and kind of move past it and just say like that's the past, but I'm gonna learn from that. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like I was thinking of bringing a topic of like defeat, how to take it and how to move past these things, because I think at that age, year 9, I mean, we're still kids, right? I mean, like I consider myself a kid. I'm 21. I'm still, I don't know, I still feel so lost. I think that's the thing that all 20 something year olds share. Like we all feel kind of messed up, a bit lost, a bit not, I mean, not really sure as to what we're supposed to be doing, what we're supposed to be, doing with our lives, and how we're supposed to be thinking, and what direction we're supposed to be moving toward. And all these things are just buzzing in our heads 24/7. And like it's all about career, career, career. And, the future, and all of a sudden the future seems so much more closer than it used to be. And, everything just seems to be happening so much faster than what it used to be. But yeah, I mean, like uni gets pretty hectic, and like final year or like second year, whatever you're in, and like it just odds keep stacking up like against you, and you just think, oh, okay, like this stuff, and you really need to be strong during this time of your life. Um, and at the same time, you feel like there's so many options thrown at you. Like, okay, so something for the 20 year olds, 20 something year olds. Like, I feel like everyone right now is looking really deeply for like love, or like actually just love, full stop, period. Because I feel like that's what's true. We're all looking for love in some way, and love is a very broad term. It can be used to describe a lot of things. Like I have love for hobbies, or per people, or a group, or my whatever, like for myself, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've been thinking really like a lot. Like I think the 20s are probably also a time where you tend to kind of dig within, like, and actually try to figure out, okay, like this is what I'm thinking right now. This is like just like I don't know, like you're always thinking about something really deep and meaningful. I don't know if that's just me. That might just be me, but I've a really strong feeling that it's a lot of people. But like I think it's just a year of deliberation, a year of like turning things over, like searching under each rock, like that sort of thing, like trying to find the thing that makes you tick, the thing that you're really passionate about, the thing that you want to be, um, like mingled with, or the things that you want to be like associated with. That's probably better, associated with. But yeah, I mean, I've been on this massive like hunt for purpose from like I don't even know. I've lost count of the years. But I think now it's come to the point at the crux where I'm just like, okay, like I've been trying to look for something that like to give me a purpose that I feel like okay, I need to fulfill this, something that I have the drive to kind of keep going. And I thought like all my life I thought I needed that. I needed something to, give me that fire, that flame, that cause to kind of back me up, to kind of help me just propel into life, like with this massive just like fire. But yeah, like I thought I needed that. And the massive um like this mist that that we're always enveloped in, this fog of like okay, like we need this, even actual fact, the truth of the matter is you don't need that. And for me, like I took years, and I still am kind of trying to piece that together and believe that myself and take that in. But I've obviously thought about it, but um yeah, I'm still very just like okay, like I'm gonna, from what other people tell me and what I learn, what I see, what I hear, I try and piece things together as succinctly as I can. And I want my purpose to be to help other people figure out things for themselves. And as I don't know, I feel like people always need other people, and there are a lot of people out there who are lonely, who don't have people to talk to about things they think are the most randomest stuff ever, like why do parrots have so many colors, like why do they have so many colors in their feathers? Somebody probably knows the answer to that, like something about camouflage, I don't know, like there's probably some sort of answer to that. I just came up with the weirdest, I don't, you see what I mean, like each and every one of us, we have this moment like of our lives where we are thinking about things, and that's a really terrible example about the parrot, but thinking about things that are so out there and so random. And at that point, like it would be really nice to have someone to share that with, and to ask, and to just have a deep connection where which is based on trust, and just like this mutual feeling of like unknowing, like just trying, but always trying to figure out certain things. um but yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to be someone to, like, I don't know, someone that someone could lean on. That be, if that makes any sense. Not real, not literally, because I've been used as a car pillow for my entire life, and I know what it's like. So no, that's a no go for me. But I mean, like emotionally speaking, metaphorically, like, I'm being very like emotional, whatever. Like I would love like to be someone to lean on, and that's something that I want to. That is really integral to my purpose. I feel that I'm meant to be around people, and I'm meant to be helping in the most basic way. And I look, I thought for a very long time I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to do science. I wanted to like have these massive crazy science experiments, like crazy professor gone mad, like like all that stuff, like or like become a doctor, like super extremes, like and I thought, I mean, I thought that was the most like effective way to help people. And it is, I mean, people who are studying med or science, like they are helping people in the most visible, the most physical way you could potentially could that you could help someone. And I thought, I mean, as a kid, that was the most that made the most sense to me, because I could see that the change they were making to these people's lives. And they would patient would walk in sick and broken, and they would walk out like a whole new person, ready to face the world again. But I think as a student who's now kind of thought, like, there's been a few years since I thought that way, and I thought maybe I'm meant for that. Like now I know that there's more ways to help someone than physically, and there's more ways to help someone than just fixing them up, that way. But to all you med students out there and you science students, like, mad respect, mad, I don't even know what I'm doing right now, mad respect, good, like you're living it, that's great. um but yeah, I mean, like I've always thought, like, there is something more that I can do. And going for this trip, the UNIV trip to Italy and Spain, and coming back and thinking about all these things that I've learned and everything, I've just thought, look, like there's so much for me to do. there's so much for me to still improve on, and there are things that I haven't even thought about, like in my faith, like what this is what I represent, like this is what I stand for. And like I think that's the one thing about faith that people don't think about, and I think that's I feel sorry for people who don't have like like a that they don't have their faith. Like I feel sorry for them, I do, because I think what your faith really is pretty much something that forms part of your identity. That's something that kind of gives you purpose by itself, by just being there, by just being a part of that faith. It gives you fuel to keep going, fuel to just keep striding on. Because and one thing I also learned from this trip, it was that how much you rely on your strength, on your capability. Like I can do it, like I'll do it, and like you just kind of thrust into like every single thing. And and at some point you will get burnt out. There will be a point where it's like, oh, I'm so discouraged, I'm so tired, I don't want to go on, like that feeling of just like wanting to give up. And that happens. That happens when you rely too much on your own strength. And you need to realize there are other people. There are people for you. There are people to talk to you about this sort of thing, to support you, to be there for you. And not just that, but there's also God. And that's the one thing that faith gives you that a lot of other things can't. And that's the beautiful thing about faith. And to be honest, like I feel there's always like those times where I go for a meditation or I have a talk with a priest, and you feel so enlightened. You feel so lightweight, like on your feet. You feel so light because there's something that's carrying you. Like there's a force that is within you, and that you feel just so much lighter, mentally as well. You feel that you're just taken care of, and that you're loved, and that you are surrounded by people you love. And I cannot describe that feeling to anyone, because it's so subjective to each person. We feel so differently, but we're also united at the same time, and that's also such a beautiful thing. Yeah, and I think that's why events such as UNIV and World Youth Day, and the ACYF, and that Australian Australian Catholic Youth Festival, those kind of events kind of help people just immerse themselves in what they believe in, and find purpose within themselves, and also just be safe, feel sheltered in this environment where everyone is searching for what you're searching for. And you feel so happy. And I think that's the word, like happiness. Like you feel so happy that you have that you are a part of something bigger than just yourself. Because if you think about it, it's all about you. Like every single day that you wake up, that you walk around, that you decide to do anything, it's all about you. And no matter how big your family is, no matter how many people you're surrounded by, at all times, it's you at some point are in this monologue within you run this monologue with yourself. Like, oh, okay, I need to go and buy milk. I need to buy cookies with that milk. I need to go out. No, I need to do this assignment. I need to do this. Like, oh, that dress looks cute. Like, no, I wonder how much that is. Oh no, it's too expensive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like interior like talk that you kind of get stuck in your own head a bit. And in that situation, it's hard to think about other people. It's hard to think about what the other person is feeling. How can I help the other person when you are stuck in that monologue, when you're stuck within yourself? And it's important to like know that your life, and I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking about it, and I was talking with my parents about this sort of thing as well, and my friends, about why is it that you do what you do? Why is it that you think it's important? Like, as in, like, what is your main goal in life? Like, what is it like you want to accomplish by the end of like your career, or like your, like, I don't know what is it that you want to feel and do and whatever. So then I had this conversation with my parents first, and then with my friends. And with my parents, it's very interesting when I was reading this book. I'll grab it for you guys. It's amazing. It's so cool. All right, it's called The 12 Rules for Life. And it seems pretty intimidating, like 12 rules, like rules. I don't know if I should, like really live by rules. And like, I mean, we all live by rules if you think about it, like, the government. Yeah, but this is amazing. Jordan B. Peterson is bae. If for you guys who speak like kiddish language still, like modern whatever. But yeah, this guy, he is phenomenal, and you should definitely give him a look. If at all you do need some inspiration to kind of kickstart your life again, kickstart your motivation, keep going. Yeah, and this, there are like a few anecdotes, like it's pretty much made out of anecdotes, and like things where like you could just learn from every moment. And so within like and see, I'm not even like, this is the beginning, by the way. I'm not even progressed. It's like the first couple of pages, but I've already like fell in love. It's beautiful. Yeah, and the thing in that book, he asked a question to me, like to the reader, um, and like what is it that you want to get out of life, and what is it that you want to do and like accomplish by the end that you and at the end of your life. So then I was thinking about it. I actually thought, I was like, yeah, that's a really interesting question. Like that's a very, like I haven't thought about it myself. Like I need to give me like a couple. But then I was thinking about it, and I found the answer within myself by some miracle, and I then proceeded to ask my parents about it. And so then my dad went first, and he was just like, I mean, actually, my mom went first. She's like, oh, like I just want to go to heaven. And I was like, oh, classic. My mom, like, she's pretty much a nun that lives with us, like a nun with a family. That's who she is. She's beautiful, holy, amazing, just Wonder Woman, like just role model, like all the way up there. Like she's just 0 to 100. Like she's 100. We are kind of 0-ish. Like we're not. She's up there. So then I kind of nodded my head and I was like, yeah, okay. I saw that one coming. But then I asked my dad, and then he said, I very straightforwardly, very to the point, I want to be happy. I thought, oh, okay, that's the answer that I was kind of looking for. I wanted, like, that, when you ask a question, you kind of expect an answer. You're like, oh, you're gonna say that, like, So then I kind of did that. That's how I felt, and I was like, oh, okay. So you want to be happy? That you want to be happy, but then that's a reason why you do everything you do, for happiness. Um, and then I was telling my dad, like, that's interesting. That's good. That's kind of like what the majority of people on this earth would probably answer. Like, what do you want to get most out of life? Happiness seems to be the most, like, for fulfilling. It seems to cover everything. Happiness kind of gets it pretty much very succinctly, kind of puts it into one word. But then I told him, like, what about strength of character? And like, because John B. Peterson, my boy back there, like he touched on that, and he said, like, whatever we do, whatever struggle we kind of are faced with, or whatever it is that we have to go through, and like, we are always looking for to be strong. That's what we want most. We want to be strong as people. We want to have a strong character, and I actually kind of agreed with him with that, because I thought, okay, those movies that we all get really emotional at, like guys, like out there, if a guy's watching this right now, you've cried in a movie, like you're human, okay, like you're not an alien from like outer space. You've cried for a movie before, and like all of us have, me a bit more than the average person, but that's cool, we all accept everyone, that's cool. But pretty much the like, if you think about like movies that have this profound, if like this change, and like how I don't know how to explain it, but there's some really good movies, like literally any superhero movie. How they kind of, there's like this, they've got, like, let's say Batman, like, his parents die, he is just like down in the dumps. Yeah, for sure, he's a millionaire, but he's still sad, like, you know what I mean, like that's the whole like money can't buy happiness thing. But like, so like he's kind of like a really not messed up, but like really just like he's given up pretty much at this point. He doesn't know what he's doing, very superficial, just like ladies on his arms at all times, you know what I mean, like not happy, clearly, like you can see that. But how he changes his life slowly by like getting really, like, he fixes himself, like latches himself onto learning something, and like it becomes his life. And I don't know about you, but him sticking to his core principles and saying, I will not kill anyone. And look, how many times was he faced with the Joker, right? Like, the Joker was in his face pretty much, like 70% of the movie, at least 70%. The Joker was like in his face, and I'm pretty sure his breath would have smelled rank, because like, the smiley thing, and like, yeah, whatever. So like, it must not have been pleasant, okay, with the full fact that he was like cutting people up and like their faces, and it was disgusting. Like, who likes a Joker? Anyway, but we love you, Heath Ledger. We love you. But pretty much, yeah, like it would not have been easy to have done that, and to still stick by our principles. And I think that's why we get so moved. We get so moved by these things, because we're just thinking how, like, we want that. We want to be we want to have that belief so ardent, like so true to ourselves, that nothing can shake us out of it. That nothing can, just kind of like this pretty much just like tackle us out of this feeling that we have, that belief that we have, that is so attached to ourselves that nothing can stop us. And I think that's the one thing that really, like, that's what we all want, right? To have our convictions so tightly knit, so concrete that nothing can stop you. Anyway, that's all I have today. Actually, just to tell you guys today. It's been a way too long video. I don't even know if you guys are even still watching. I probably don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, so we'll see. But thanks so much for watching, guys, and I probably will get back to you about a few things. And this took like a really weird roller coaster in terms of like topics and conversation and whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that I vented and said stuff and did whatever. And that book is amazing. You guys should have a read, and I will. Yeah, so like this book, guys, please like do it for yourselves. Like at least read the blurb, or like read the first like 10ish pages. Do it. Like you will immediately love it. I'm pretty sure you will. And plus it's like on the top 10 right now, top 10 in the book hierarchy thing, whatever, the list of like most popular books at the moment. So it's not just me. Australia thinks the same. So I obviously it's the majority does. So I think maybe you should probably not that that should be the reason you read it, but if you need something to pick you up, then please pick this up and yeah, like have a read and see what you feel. And it's not just me. A lot of people have recommended this to me, and I'm so blessed to have them in my life to even give me material such as this to learn stuff from, because I think that's what we all need right now, especially in your 20s. You need a bit of a handbook, a bit of an instruction manual as to how to live your life. This kind of gives you a bit of, like, as it says, rules to live by, which is, it's helpful. Gives you a bit of like a stepping stone into, learning how to live a bit more of a fulfilling life. And yeah, it gets you thinking. So whatever you guys, yeah, so have a look. And yeah, cool. Thanks for having me, guys. And well, thanks for listening this entire time. Your ears must be like broken, but cool. I'll talk to you when I talk to you guys next. Bye.